Hi, I'm Courtney.
And I'm Brienne.
And you're listening to
Just Haunted House Things. All right, so we're back for part 2.
Part 2. This was such a monster of an episode that we had to kind of put this into 2 parts. So
Kind of. It was a 3-hour conversation that kept going after we stopped recording.
yeah, so there were some things that we had when we stopped recording, which you guys will never hear, and that's okay.
That's fine.
We had a great time talking with Jon, so here's more of that episode.
Enjoy.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, it's hard to figure out how to do these things successfully.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to make money doing them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Blackout was so successful and
so simple.
It's very simple, but their story came out of necessity.
Mm.
Like in the bonus features, you'll get their full story, but
Which I'm going to check out later.
Yeah,
I'll give you like a little taste of what their story was, because it really is such an interesting story. So they were doing theater shows like off Broadway,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like Shakespeare, Chekhov, Maeterlinck. Like you're doing Maeterlinck, that is like such like theater geekish stuff where it's like even theater geeks are like, what's Maeterlinck? Okay,
Yes.
that's what it is. So they were having trouble, like the rents were being raised on them. They were like, how are we going to get through this? They thought they're going to have to close up, and they thought, oh, let's put on a haunted house in the summertime to make some money. Because they were about to get closed down.
Yeah.
And they go, okay, what we don't have any props, enough money for props. There will be no props.
Okay.
We don't have enough money for a set. We will use garbage bags.
Might as
No
well.
lighting. Let's just turn the lights off.
Yeah.
Costumes. We don't have enough money to buy a mask. They were so broke. So you know what we're gonna do? Every actor is gonna be naked. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Naked people, garbage bags, no lights on.
Love it.
And then we're going to treat the audience like garbage. We're going to tell them
to go with the garbage bags. Yes.
That's right.
The connection.
Total. And then it became the biggest financial success they had ever had.
That's amazing.
And, but the same, they're still artists. They still do it in such a way where only so many people could go through in a night. If they were really concerned with making a lot of money, they would have so many more people going through.
Yeah.
But I filmed people leaving Blackout. There's a part of the movie where you see people leaving Blackout. And I loved filming people's reactions when they left, because it was just such a bizarre variety of just like dazed, freaked out, and like people just drunk on terror. It was just so much fun. It was really cool. And they were really nice to let me get some behind the scenes stuff that no one's ever shared before, got to see before. They let me go and film behind the scenes also.
Yeah.
And they gave me some great access. It was really cool. But you also get to see in the bonus features when they do the Purge Live Fear the Night, which I went through, and then I got to film the whole thing. And it was really tough to not use that footage in the movie. I didn't use it because it was like a lot of American flag stuff. It didn't, couldn't use it in a montage with it making any sense.
Yeah.
Right.
You had to do a whole thing on it. And you'd have to stop the movie to do a whole thing on it. So it's a bonus feature where you get to really get into, and it was like that day where I had a killer, awesome camera from Red Cam. And I had this amazing director of photography who was there for that day, who was like so talented. And he's doing all this great camera work. I'm just like, and I'm looking at all this going, none of this is going to be in the movie. It's so good. It's killing
my
me.
own personal little footage just to go back and watch.
It's so cool to look at, but it's I just like, I miss great bonus features. I just don't like if I buy a physical copy or even a digital of something, and the bonus features are just like press kit kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just feel like so ripped off. And so like, I love like really great bonus features where you feel like you're getting, like, I wanted the bonus features for Haunters. I cut way more. Like I cut 87 minutes of bonus features.
Holy
wow.
I could only afford to include 30 minutes. And only because of this. Here you go. When you want to get something approved for a movie that's bonus features, you have to show it to a law firm and get them to go over they have to watch it twice. So, however much you have to pay a lawyer to watch something twice. So if it's 30 minutes, you're paying an hour of a team of lawyers.
Okay.
And that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So if it's 87 minutes times 2. Now, on top of that, you got to take that to an insurance company to get insured off of the stuff that is in the bonus features to make sure you can handle lawsuits and whatever. And here's how much we can insure you for.
Right.
Okay.
Well, before the lawyers even get it, you have to fill all this paperwork for the lawyers to be watching while they're watching the movie to see different copyrighted items and different things, and then see how it's a whole lot of bullshit. Okay.
Sounds like it.
Once I saw the sticker price, I was like, I can afford 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I cut 87 minutes and did it all, by the way, to music. Did it all, even there's original music in the bonus features that's just performed just for that thing you see. And it's just killing me. So I was like, fuck it. We're doing 30 minutes and it's going to be 30 awesome minutes. And almost all the celebrities are in the bonus features, not in the movie. Slash from Guns N' Roses in the bonus features.
Right.
John Landis, bonus features.
Oh my God.
Jason Blum of Blumhouse, bonus.
Bonus
all
features.
I'm like,
he
it was
had a
so
little
funny.
snippet in the actual doc.
Real little snippet.
Yeah.
And
I was waiting for him being like, where is he? When's he coming up?
Coming back?
And finally he came up and I was like, yeah. And then he was gone. And I was like,
boom.
Okay, that was a good
it.
time. GG.
That's all it made sense. Like, I'm not going to, I put more of them in there before, and it was like, well, it really feels like I'm crowbarring him in, and who wants that? So it's all the bonuses. And again, like, I feel like a carnival barker, but the thing about the bonus features that I like is that it's like, you can watch that conflict free. It really is just, I sometimes put on the bonus features September 1st. It's kind of my go-to September 1st. I did it this year too.
Yeah.
I put on the bonus features and I just play them because it is like, now you're in the Halloween world.
Yeah.
It is just 30 minutes of like everything I ever wanted in like a Halloween special that never quite delivered all the stuff I wanted.
Yeah.
Right.
And there it is. And it's really cool. And I don't know, it's special to me. And it's one of those things that even some of the people who are like, I hate this movie so much because of Russ and this and the other, Mickey Manor's garbage. The bonus features are great though. But I hate this. I'm like, there you go. Okay.
I gave you
bonus
2
features.
Instead instead of 1 because of the bonus
Yeah,
features.
yeah.
Boom. Yeah, I had to I haven't really read I've seen the skulls on Shudder.
Yeah.
I've done a good job of stop reading comments, but there was a time where I would early on when people were reviewing my movie, or I just started reading the bad reviews online because it was so funny.
I'm in a Facebook group called Haunters Hangout.
Oh,
yeah.
You're a part of it. So every time Haunters comes up, someone usually posts some gif of kicking a dead horse or something, and it's the comments are hilarious for me because I'm like, it's a reasonable documentary. We all understand what its purpose is, but everyone's apparently in Haunters Hangout, at least the older crowd seems to be sick of hearing it, but I'm like, come on now, you don't know, this could be a new person who's just discovered it. Just let them have their moment. And whatever. But it's just so funny to see people's reactions.
They can never let them have their moment.
No, they cannot.
You're happy? Let me tear that down.
Before this movie, I was a member of that group and was just having so much fun. And just oh, this haunt's great. That haunt's great. Here's more haunts. Here's more pictures. I just love haunts. Here's all the pictures I take all the time. Here you go.
And then after?
What's that?
And then after? What happened?
Oh my God. So when my movie came out and I got tagged in a Haunters Hangout, I was like, I got tagged in Haunters Hangout for my movie.
So excited.
Oh my God. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm going to click on it.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And it'd been up for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Where someone said, hey, I just saw Hunters, the Art of the Scare, and I thought it was really cool. This and the other. And they said something positive that they thought it was really
great.
Cool. And then the comments were just so crazy. And I get it. I get it. I am not out of my mind thinking that if I put the most controversial wildest thing in the world into this movie, people aren't going to go, what the fuck, man? I get that. Totally get it, by the way. I totally get it. But it was so aggressive and like Jon Schnitzer is a terrible human being. And like this whole like, whoa. And then I jumped in the comments and was like,
no,
if you hate Jon Schnitzer, let me tell you, I can't stand him. Did you know at the Hebrew Academy, he used to bite kids? They kicked him out. He was forced to go to the Jewish Student Institute, and they kicked him out too. He was forced to go to public school. And then at public school, he begged to go back to Jewish Student Institute because he kept getting his butt kicked. And it was horrible. Let me tell you about Jon Schnitzer. This kid, talk about a problem kid, by the way. And then someone goes, holy shit, it's him. And I'm like, let me tell you, I got the inside track on this jerk. And let me tell you some more annoying things about Jon Schnitzer. How about we talk about his parents too? Because they're partially to blame. And like my mother, and I like posted a picture with me and my mom, like, oh, let me tell you, she encouraged me to do whatever I wanted. Well, guess what? That's how you get this kind of a movie, everybody. So blame Janet Schnitzer. She's always saying, follow your dreams. This was part of my dream. I'm sorry it came out this way, but it's all my mom's fault. And let's talk about my dad here. And they were all like, what is going on? And just getting so mad at me. Like, this isn't funny. I'm like, I agree. It's not funny.
It's not. This is a serious issue.
He's gone too far. And then I finally was like, all right, I'll stop commenting on this because it is really silly. But then somebody posted on my Haunter's Instagram about a question saying, oh, why did you include so much of McCamey Manor? I was like, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. And I thought he was asking a question, so I thought I'd give an actual response.
A legitimate answer?
And then I asked him a question as a follow-up.
Yeah.
And then he didn't answer back. And then, of course, I'm tagged in Haunter's Hangout again. He's like, guys, I talked to that idiot, Jon Schnitzer, and look, here's a screen grab of what he said. And
oh my
what
God.
an asshole. And I was like, then I chimed in. I'm like, I thought we were having a conversation. This is so weird. Yes, I said all those things. And yes, I stand by them. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Who are you? And I looked him up like, dude, you're my age. We're in our 40s. What is going on here? This is very bizarre to me that you're like some 40-year-old dude going, hey, this is crazy. I was on Instagram trolling this guy whose movie I don't appreciate. And now I'm here. And you're just like, dude, what the hell's going on? Anyways, and then it would be like one of those things where like months later I get tagged again. Just the Haunter's Haunter's account would get tagged.
Oh my God.
And so I look, oh God, I'm getting tagged in this group again. And I click on it and someone go, hey, it's probably been brought up a bunch of times before, but I just saw this movie, Haunter's the Art of the Scare. I thought it was really cool. What did you guys think? And I was like, oh, again with this. And they get so mad. And you're like, okay.
Stop opening the door.
So the idea is this. I finally had to like leave the group.
Right.
Clearly. Fair.
I didn't want to leave the group because I love seeing all the haunt stuff. And I really do. I'm cool with just not even saying anything. I just want to look at haunt stuff. And I follow so many haunt accounts because I'm just like, I'm looking at haunt stuff all the time. You should like my Pinterest. I don't post anything. I just look at haunt stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes me happy. So, it did make me really sad when I unfollowed. I was like, I just have to stop looking. But it was don't feel sorry for me, please. I'm doing just fine. I'm living a great life.
You're good. You're good.
It's okay for me to have one thing I don't get to have, actually. You know what? I recommend everyone take something you like, get rid of that one thing. You can do. We can all not be 9-year-olds at a birthday party for our entire lives all the time. We can all dial
But I
wanna. Stop. You need a nap. That's what I'm hearing. Anyways,
fine.
I don't need to mansplain how you need to live your life. Let me just tell you.
But you're not wrong. I do need a nap.
I've had 3 cups of coffee, so
fucking love naps, man.
Yeah, naps rule. But it's like it's one of those things where it was it is a trip, but then it's like Shar will be like, I was at Whole Foods and somebody, getting like a sample or something. And like someone going, "You're Char Mayer?" And like they want a picture with her.
Right.
And I've been to like Halloween conventions with Donald and Char, and everyone has to stop them. And I saw this one woman in tears when she saw Donald, and just like, "I leave your wife, marry me. You can haunt, do whatever you want."
Damn.
Meanwhile, his wife got the same offers where she's like, "I think it's ridiculous that he leave him. I'll never haunt." It's really funny.
It's really
it's so amazing because when I met Char and then we volunteered at haunt conventions together, we volunteered a lot of haunt things together and Halloween things together. And I did see a lack of appreciation for her. And I love her. Yeah. And when I met her and heard her story, she became instantly a hero to me. And I just think, what an amazing human being. And she's been doing it forever. And I talked to a lot of people and I did a lot of research, and to find out that she is the very first human being to ever do every kind of haunting. She's the first to do hay rides, theme park, home haunts, extreme haunts, and immersive theater. She did delusion. She did blackout. She worked at all these haunts. So now there's others who have done it also. There's a number 2, number 3, and number whatever. She's the Neil Armstrong of haunting.
Hell yeah.
Okay? That's what she is. She is the first scare actor to do the full spectrum of haunt.
Yeah.
And she continues to be the first. Like she does virtual haunting, and so she's done online stuff. She keeps evolving and keeps growing. Nobody can catch up. All they can do is be 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 100th after her.
Exactly.
And I was like, you know what? That's a legendary scare actor. And it was like the 2 lower thirds I thought of in the movie where I was like, must say this. Craig, not a haunt fan. Char Mayer, legendary scare actor.
Yes.
I wanted to say that. And I want people to refer to her that way. And I want people to see her that way because I see her that way. And she's a hero who, damn it, when she walks into a room, I want people to go, that's legendary scare actor Char Mayer. And guess what? She gets invited to things now as legendary scare actor Char Mayer. And it's like, and it's accurate. I feel like, I just feel so good about that because it's like people see her the way that I see her. And that's something really special you can do as a filmmaker is get people to see a subject or something the way you do.
Right.
Or just to see them.
Yeah.
Yes, there's that too.
To see
just
them.
To acknowledge their existence. But Char is just like, you don't see her as anything other than an amazing scare actor who's totally innovative and was there for every turning point in haunt history. It's so exciting. I don't know. I love her.
She's like a mother to all of us in a way like that.
Haunt mom.
Totally. It's like one of those things too, where I was listening to your show, I get asked to do lots of different types of podcasts, which, and some of them I do, and some I don't know. I do some of them, but it's like, what I like about your podcast so much is that when you're talking about how you got into haunting, I was just like, oh my God, this is like every great true haunt story. It's like just how it brought the two of you together.
Yeah.
How I love that story. Which one of you shared the story about the kid that was outside the haunt that you were keeping company?
Yeah,
that
was
oh my God. I love that story so much. And I had the biggest smile. And it's like, you captured the heart in haunting that I love so much. And even how I got introduced to you was through Gigi Saul Gurrero.
Who is an amazing filmmaker.
Yeah. And scare actor.
Yes, and scare actor.
I met Gigi when she was showing Culture Shock at Beyond Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Then I got to meet and hang out with her a bunch in Mexico City, and she was showing it at Morbido,
Right.
and we hung out and just became like really good friends. And I just think she's just awesome. She's a wonderful person. And then she started telling me how, she worked at this haunt and starts telling me haunt stories. And I was like, I wish this was years ago. You'd be in the movie. She would have been great in Haunters. And you're it's in Vancouver, right?
Yes.
That would have been amazing. I would have loved to have been in Vancouver and filmed all that.
We would have loved to have you.
Hell yeah.
I love it. It's one of those, like, I don't know. It's so cool. And then she introduces me to you. It's saying that these are two people who worked at my haunt, and now they have their own haunt podcast. And immediately I'm just like, I know I'm going to love it already. Because this is such a great, she was the creative director at this haunt. The two of you worked at that haunt. And now you're doing a podcast about haunts. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. And I recorded a few episodes of a podcast, and I've never released them. And it's like one of those weird things where I've sat on them for so long, and I'm always like, why haven't I released these things? And, I just love the way you two do it, because you have your conversations and you get into the meta-ness of all the haunt family stuff. And it's just really sweet and really great. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
That's wow. I'm at a loss for words, because that's like the nicest thing someone has said to us about our podcast.
And I think it's also because like it's still so fresh and new, and like a lot of the things that we hear from friends and family, and they're all super, super supportive. But like to talk to someone who, we have only virtually met, and to hear how much like it's impacted you in a certain way, it's like really lovely. And like it's nice to be like, oh, it's going somewhere, and it's like it's talking to people, and it's fun.
Yeah, and
totally. Look, when you create something and put it out there,
it's scary.
It's a cool thing though, because it's like people look, they run with it in different ways.
Yeah,
and it's funny because like I met a lot of people because I made Haunters.
Yeah,
that I never would have met.
Right.
Like Darren Bousman did the Saw movies, and he also did a bunch of immersive theater, like the Tension Experience.
Right.
And he added me as a friend on Facebook the day my movie went out on iTunes. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even think about it. I was just like, wow, this is so cool. Thanks for adding me. I'm a fan. This is so cool. And he's like, I just watched your movie. I was blown away. I want to take you out to dinner.
Incredible.
We went out to dinner and hung out. And I was like, I'm the whole time just going, this is so crazy.
Little fanboy moment.
I know. Like, don't freak out. And then we just kept hanging out. And then he introduced me to more people, and other people reached out to me too. And it was like, so it's funny because you're going to get people who say crazy things to you, or tell you the exact way they would do it if they did it.
Right.
And like, whenever someone tells me, well, you should have done this, that, and the other, I'm like, well, I can't wait to see your movie where you do everything.
Send me a copy when it comes out, and we'll compare.
I'll watch it, and I'll probably love it. Like, well, they don't know what to say, because they think I'm going to be like, screw you, buddy. I'm just more like, that sounds cool. I want to see that.
You're like, great, create
do this together.
Let's check it out. Let's do this.
It's like, I'll watch it. I watch it if that's, dude. I lived off of watching what the Travel Channel did for years.
Oh,
I haven't watched anything. If any meandering hunt thing, I would watch and and you know what I would do? Feel lucky for getting it. It's not like there's this long encyclopedic thing. There's not like you want to get that's the haunt section right over there. Go ahead and rent whatever you want. No one has that.
Down aisle 9, but it's only really half of aisle 9.
Mm-hmm.
It's only that. That one thing right there.
It's that one stand.
The kid is holding it. Yeah, no, it's a total, it's a funny thing when you think about it, but it's like, I'm just glad that there's just more and more people, more things that get released from this subculture, because it's cool. You get to see it in different ways. I mean, you can see like, even on Shudder, they also have Spookies.
Yes. Is that
which is the Haunt in New Zealand?
Yes, watched it. Mm-hmm. It's a great documentary.
Sweet, it's a good one.
Super cool.
I love it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good ones where that capture the good feeling stuff. I love it.
The good vibes.
Yeah, I love it.
I have a question, John.
Go ahead.
So, out of all the haunts that you got to go to and you actually went through, which one was your favorite?
Okay. It's so tough to say because okay, that's like asking me what my favorite Tarantino movie is, and I will tell you, hey, guess what? It depends on my mood.
Right, facts.
When I want to hang out, I watch Jackie Brown. When I want to I watch it a lot. I just love it. It's a cool hangout movie.
Respect.
And now, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is another. I saw that so many times in the theater. I went to the Cannes Film Festival, saw it there.
Oh, God.
Then saw it every time in LA. Tarantino did a Q&A.
Right.
I was someone's plus one because they're just they want me there because I'm the biggest fan of his. Just be I love it. I'll show you an Instagram picture that's hilarious. A picture of me at the premiere of Kill Bill and a picture of me at Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Deal.
Awesome.
Both with Tarantino.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
God, I hope it's the really same photo, mustache. But years apart.
Yeah.
17-year chance. It's kind of hilarious. Yeah, my whole face exploded with facial hair. So, I went from a mustache to all of a sudden a chia head.
It's okay. Puberty had to hit at one point. It's fine.
Blah.
It's fine. Yeah.
So it depends on what you're looking for because to me, haunts can't be measured by what's better. It's more what are you in the mood for? Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
The thing I'm looking forward to the most this year is I'm going to be going this year to Delusion.
Mm-hmm.
And Delusion, it's in my movie for a very small little bit.
Yeah.
There was more in the bonus features, but it's so special what they do. John Braver created this thing called Delusion. Mm-hmm. It's an interactive haunted house play where you are playing a part. Just by entering it, you're now a character in the show.
I love it.
And it's a very small groups of 10. So you never see any of the other audience members there.
No.
It's just you alone in this giant house. And they always pick some old, historic, creepy old place in LA.
Yes.
Some of these have been used in horror films.
Right.
One of them was used for some scenes in actually one of my favorite Paranormal Activities, the marked ones.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that one. I love part 1, part 3, part 5. Boom. It's so perfect.
In that order?
No. I do. You know what? It's 3 and 5. I'm all about 3 and 5.
Yeah,
I love 1 because it's good and
it started it all.
Started the whole thing.
Yeah.
But 3, oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of time with Jason Blum to interview him, and I wasted way too much going off about the camera panning and Paranormal Activity part on the oscillating fan.
It was so good.
Just wasting my time now talking to Jason Blum telling about this.
Fine. That's a good time waster.
It was the greatest.
I told him that was a new take on the Exorcist 3 scare. He's like, yeah, that's exactly what they were talking about.
Yeah.
This is the Exorcist 3 scare. Anyways, so
meandering
is that's right. I hope he's listening. He
better be.
Better be. I hope he gets a comment. I thought there was meandering until I heard Jonathan Schnitzer's episode.
I think we should legit call this episode Meandering with Jonathan Schnitzer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Meander Master. Meander Master. No, you better fucking put Haunters the Art of Scare in the title. I should watch that movie right now. Good. Anyways. So, Delusion is a choose your own adventure experience.
Yes.
John Braver's background is in creating stunts, doing stunt work for all the big movies. He did Spielberg movies, he did Marvel movies. And so he wanted to do his own choose your own adventure, action-packed haunt experience that had massive special effects and that not everyone in your group would see. The idea is you're going to a house. Okay. I went for the first time when it was their second year. Delusion, the Blood Rite. You're going to an asylum for people with telepathic powers, only to find out you used to be a patient there and you're returning.
Dun, dun,
and
dun.
You're going through and there's something going on in there. Now it's okay, because if the entire group together holds out their hands, you can actually move things with your minds together. So a guy comes running after you with a butcher's cleaver, and he's coming after you, and we all put up our hands and we yelled, and then he went flying backwards.
Whoa!
Like upstairs backward, like zhoof. And it was like I felt like Neo in the Matrix. I was living it up. It was so cool. There's times you have to look for a key. Well, the more stuff you do, the more things you're going to experience.
Yeah.
So there's a part where a door opened at the end of a hallway and they go, there's a key somewhere inside there. Who wants to go? And I was like, I'll do it. Because I'm like, this is going to be so scary.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm going to get so scared. Like, I'd walk down the creepy hallway, and apparently as I'm walking, I trip some kind of invisible laser, and now there's theme music. Just for me walking down the hallway. It was
my God.
Creepy. Then I'm inside the room, and there's a woman inside a bathtub of blood. And I say to her, okay, I'm looking for a key. The door behind me slams shut.
I knew it. Oh, I knew that.
A knife goes to my throat.
What?
My friends from behind the door scream and run away.
Right.
And so there's a moment like this that's in the movie. But anyways, she turns me around, and it's this woman with cuts all over her, and she's got a knife, and she says, do you want to see my bedroom? And I was like, no, I'm looking for a key.
I'm on a mission.
She has tucked me into her bed in her room with hundreds of dolls looking at me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so scary. And at one point, my friends kicked down the door and rescued me. At the end of the show, a lot of other things happen.
Yeah.
At the end of the show, I mean, talk about crazy special effects. End of the show, I was like, okay, when the door slammed shut, you were screaming. Was it just because the door slammed shut? They go, there was someone on the ceiling, and they fell down from the ceiling right in front of us.
What?
And then they climbed the walls and came after us. I was
my God.
What did you just say? And I told them about what happened to me. It's like at the end of Delusion, it's almost like you're telling each other ghost stories, but about what just happened. And that's when it gets scary, and that's when it gets even more fun.
I love that.
Every show's different. Every year they do it, it's a different theme. It's a different everything. And it's so awesome. So this year, they've figured out a way how to bring it back, and everyone has to be vaccinated. You got to be tested. You have to have masks on. The whole. I mean, I'm glad they're doing it this way, because I really want to. I miss it. I want to go.
Yeah.
And so that's my number one thing for this year. So Delusion's just got a huge place in my heart. I love it so much. But I love Rotten Apple 907. Rotten Apple 907 is in my movie for a little bit. It's the adorable older couple in the opening of the film,
right?
Where he says, I was he was in, they did the Alice in Wonderland haunt, they did the Wizard of Oz haunt, he was the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's his Facebook picture. So they do a haunt that is it's a home haunt. And you see it throughout in different montages, and you see them in the opening talking about it. It's so incredible what they do. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's scary, and with unique scares.
Yeah.
And it's just their front yard, and they create something so magical. So last year, when no haunts could be open out here except for some drive-through haunts, which I loved the drive-through stuff.
Yeah.
I had
so
much
inventive.
fun.
So inventive.
Loved it. I loved every single one of them I went to, because I was like, you know what? They're finding a way to reinvent the wheel, and I'm all about it.
Yeah.
There was a thing called Night of the Jacks out here.
Yeah.
With thousands and thousands of jack-o'-lanterns, and you just drive your car around for 45 minutes.
Oh
I played Dead Man's Bones the whole time and had a great time. Loved it. Okay.
Yeah.
So they found a way how to open their haunt during the pandemic before any vaccinations.
Mm-hmm.
What they did was, let's not have anyone walk through anything. Let's do a display that's 3 stories tall. And it was a recreation of the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. But in every window was a different type of scene. And they created a show, and they had actors at the different levels, even the 3rd floor, way up high.
Yeah.
And every 15 minutes, they did a short show set to music with all these special effects and music. And it was like it went from the Haunted Mansion music to a bizarre, fun disco version of the Haunted Mansion, and like floating heads and disco. I was like, oh my God. It was funny and it was sweet. And people could be spaced out in the street and just have a magical experience.
Right. Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
I love Rotten Apple 907 because they always find a way to put on an amazing show every year. There's also one that's in there, just very briefly, highlights of it. It was such a good one though. And it drove me nuts that it didn't fit in there more into the movie. Sometimes even great stuff, if you put it in a movie, it feels like a speed bump that slows things down.
Right. Yeah.
For whatever reason. So this was a haunt called Sherwood Scare.
Okay.
Sounds really familiar.
Unbelievable. One of the greatest home haunts ever made. He grew up going to Rotten Apple 907 as a child, was inspired, and wanted to make his own thing.
Oh.
What he did was so great. Like, you remember in my movie where you see the montage where the movie theater screen drops and someone's hands, someone leaps out of it. That's from this guy's home haunt.
Oh, cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
The people on the ceiling running after people that were screaming, that's from his home haunt. That's from Sherwood Scare.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Jacob Chase is the guy who created Sherwood Scare. The next thing he did right after that year of haunting was he entered a short film in a Super Bowl Doritos, short film competition. He won that.
Awesome.
He got to hang out with Zack Snyder and meet him. Then he did a short film called Come Play.
Okay.
And it did so well. Spielberg was like, oh, we should totally produce this as a feature. You should make it. He made Come Play, the movie that came out during the pandemic. That's Jacob Chase.
Oh my God, that's cool.
Awesome.
It's the coolest. He's amazing. He's like unbelievably talented. His home haunt, I went through that particular one that I filmed about 7 times, and every time noticed something different. It was so special and so cool. But look, in New Hampshire, it's the incredible Haunted Overload that Eric Lothar puts on.
Yeah. Right.
And they're in the movie for a little bit. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's jaw-dropping. It takes like 40 minutes just to walk through it. It's all outdoors.
Ooh, wow.
So anyone that's near it or can get to it, go to Haunted Overload because you're going to be outside. It's just massive apple orchards. And you walk through this whole thing. They give most of their money away to this animal shelter. And they are absolutely adorable with what they do. And they spend all year making massive 4-story tall skulls and monsters. And they paint it with blacklight paint. And they have blacklight projectors everywhere. And it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what they do. And it's completely cool. And there's just so many because it's like right now, Halloween Horror Nights is happening right now.
Yeah.
And they've got the Haunting a Hill House maze and all that stuff. Not Scary Farm was in there. Who doesn't love Not Scary Farm? It's the originator of these things.
Yeah,
They
OGs.
created the idea. They created the whole idea of theme park haunts. They created Sliders came out of Not Scary Farm.
Yep.
Clicky Gloves came out of there.
Yep.
Scare Zones. They invented all the things.
Yeah.
They made it up. So I love all that stuff. I mean, there's just so many different kinds of really cool haunts that I just love them all. And it's just there are no bad haunts except when, it's obvious.
Can we really call that an actual haunt, or is that just psychological torture? Like,
look, McCamey started off as like a normal haunt.
A regular
and
home
it was
haunt.
on the Travel Channel's haunt. It was on 3 different haunt shows on the Travel Channel. He spoke at Trans World. He spoke at every Halloween convention I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And not once, but twice or 5 or 6 times. He was a big part of that world.
Mm.
And over time, it went from traditional to hardcore, and hardcore before he even got to the most hardcore part, it was already kind of crazy.
Yeah,
and,
it went from,
and then it got wilder and wilder and wilder and wilder until you get to the part where it's like, what the hell is this? This is so crazy. But it is funny.
I watched like a bunch of documentary stuff on it, like in like a couple years ago, and
it's still going. People keep doing
still
docs
going
on it.
because he started it in his house, and then he was moving it to make a professional haunt at that lady who's got the farm, the ranch, and then he had to go back to his house. But like, correct me if I'm wrong, he moved like himself. Like, didn't him and his wife actually move to like a more spacious area where they could set up their haunt and have like an actual, like, not like a farmland, but like they've got a piece of land,
There's
right?
a lot of twists and turns.
Oh,
there's a lot. He went to more than one location.
Yeah.
And ended up in Tennessee.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
He had to like call the cops in advance to be like, we're doing a scare tonight, just so you know if you get calls.
Yeah. I remember watching, what was it, Dark Tourist? I think they did a segment on him.
And that was in Tennessee when he was already in Tennessee.
Yeah. I think that's the one, yeah.
And it's interesting because Dark Tourist, you saw how much of it was the waiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you saw how there was very little haunt in that one. There were almost no actors in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of reasons behind that, but that's a whole other thing, man.
That's a whole another episode.
That's another episode.
That's a kickoff to like a 5-hour story.
Okay.
I can meander, but like I also know like when to stop myself because it's like I know there's no short way
of explaining
saying this.
So this is when you come to town, we'll get some drinks and we will sit down and talk about it. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, haunt-wise, what are you? I've missed some episodes, which I am glad about because then I can go back and listen to a bunch.
Shame.
No, I do this on purpose too.
Fair.
Because then I go back and then I get to go, ooh, now I get to listen to like 4 episodes in a row. Boom.
Yeah.
And rich and haunt. I like that. So have you been doing haunt stuff this season? Are you doing haunt stuff this season?
We will be doing haunt stuff this season. We haven't gotten to anything yet, but I have tickets to a local haunt called Cougar Creek House of Horrors. It formerly known as Potter's House of Horrors, but they've changed hands now. It's an incredible haunt. It's a 2-house haunt, and they also have like I think a paintball, which is really kind of fun.
Like zombie paintball type stuff?
Yeah, but there's no actors in that portion. But, they do like
that would be interesting though.
Yeah,
they've done that. I've been to those.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Fun.
I haven't been one. And then,
I've been to a zombie paintball where like it was so scary because they had like school buses and all these weird burnout zones, and they're coming after you. And you have to hit. Oh god, it was so. I was screaming my head off.
It's so good. I think we want to go to another one called Man Farms. It's just outside of Vancouver.
Yeah,
Man Farms.
Yeah, and they call it they call it Man Haunts. MAAN.
Yeah, so it's like man.
Yeah, and
like
it's
Michael Mann.
Yeah.
It's 2 ways of twins.
Meandering.
I think it's been really hard with like honestly COVID restrictions, and we don't have a ton of haunts around us as is.
And you're not traveling right now.
No, not currently.
Unfortunately.
That's cool. I mean, like I had to like really psych myself up to do Delusion, but once I saw what all the things were that they're doing to make it as safe as possible, I'm just like, hey man, I'll put on 2 N95s. I'm going to this thing, you know. I want to experience it. I'm bringing my nephew's never been, and he has always wanted to go. So I'm like, okay, this is his first time. He's gonna.
How old is he?
He just turned 18.
Okay, awesome. So he's good. Yeah.
He's good, but he's in Haunters for a second. Like he wanted to go into Donald's hump, but he was too afraid.
Oh.
So there's that kid in the Taco Bell hat.
Okay.
Oh,
That's not my nephew. That kid is talking to my nephew, trying to get him to be brave enough to go into Donald's haunt.
That's funny.
My nephew was like,
adorable.
I can't go in there. He's like, if you go to that haunt, you're gonna come out feeling like a man.
Hell yeah.
And my nephew was in tears while this kid is trying to pick him a pep talk. He's like, hey man, I was like you 5 minutes ago. Then I went through that thing, totally changed. I loved it so much.
When you guys go through delusion, can you please have that exact same conversation with him? Be like, if you go through this, you're gonna be a man.
I took him to Universal with me and Shar. Like we all went together, and it was so great because she was, he'd never been to a theme park. It was like his second theme park thing because I took him to Knott's before that.
Right.
And Shar was just like, this is gonna be great. And they're like, he's basically asking her every question he ever had from watching Haunters. And like the two of them are like having the greatest time. And then we went to the Killer Clowns from Outer Space maze, and it was so awesome. And it was so much fun. I love watching him freak out. And it's but yeah, no, there's a lot going on. Like I know this group called Black Mass, they've been doing a lot of online stuff. It's really cool. That there was that really Bousman did a really cool one last year where it was this box that you ordered and it came to your house. You weren't allowed to open it.
Oh, yeah.
I did see this
one. Zoom thing, but it wasn't Zoom. It was a thing he created, and it was a live show, and things were happening during the show, and then you had to take things out of the box, and then things in that box were interacting with you.
That's so cool.
So
brilliant.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
You can tell who the creative ones are when you get limitations, and within those limitations, you can create something magical. I mean, Haunters was done for such. Every time the budget gets listed anywhere, it's N/A because there's no money. Like the money is so, it's like not applicable.
So
there's
not
nothing
there.
Right. Not there, dude. There's no money, and it's like, I'm still so like, wow, it looked like we had some money. It's like kind of blows my mind because I was able to get the colorist, J.J. Abrams colorist that did Star Wars Force Awakens, did the color of Haunters. I got
incredible.
I got like some of the best music, some of the best sound guys, editors who are just so talented.
Yeah.
And continue to work on like the biggest stuff. One of the guys that worked on it too, he's just was one of the editors on the new Flanagan Midnight Mass. And just really amazing. I can't believe all the people I had working on this thing that
I know a handful of people who worked on that too, because a lot of it was filmed in Vancouver.
Oh yeah, I'm sure everything gets filmed over there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But it's a trip, But it's it's really cool. But the haunt world, it's been really cool to see people find ways to make this time work because it's a very difficult, tricky time to make anything work. It's really a hard time.
Yeah.
So whenever they've found ways to do it right and find safe ways of making things happen, I love it so much. It's so great.
Absolutely.
It's the greatest. I'm really stoked. But look, it's so funny. There's just, even outside of the most extreme, crazy, wild examples, every haunt is going to have some haunt drama anyway.
For sure.
Always.
Every theater group has theater drama.
Always.
Every family has family drama. That's
Always. That's always the case. All right, one last question, John, and then we should probably wrap
I'll give you
it
a
up.
3-hour answer. Go for it.
Love it. Are you working on anything new? Any new projects that we should keep an eye out for?
A bunch of stuff, and it's all stuff I'm not even allowed to talk about.
So I knew that was going to happen.
That's some bullshit.
It sucks.
Dang.
Dude, it blows. I want to talk about everything, obviously.
We could just stop recording and then just not tell anyone else. None of our listeners will know about it.
I can't even do it.
I know, mother.
It's those big old contracts, the NDA.
How many of those did you sign?
Oh my God. It's been crazy. Like I had to bring someone on to edit a sizzle for something, and they had to sign like all this stuff in order for me to go, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like, obviously I love to talk. And so I would tell you everything. No problem. But it's like, I get it. I understand why we can't do those things.
Yeah.
So, but I've been writing a lot.
Okay.
I write a ton. I got a fourth draft of a script finished during the whole pandemic.
Awesome.
I'm writing a bunch of other stuff too. I write every day. I get up sometimes at like 4 a.m. to start writing.
Nice.
And I'm writing my butt off. So I've been working on a lot of stuff. Some of it is documentary. A lot of it's scripted, and it's really fun. There's a lot of stuff that we've been developing. Lots of projects that I'm just so excited about, and I can't wait to get to the point where we can be like, okay, now we can start talking about. There's one project where I've even told these people, these other producers, we cannot talk about this until it's finished.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if we talk about it before it's finished, no, it's gonna, it'll set it. Sometimes you can't let anyone know what you're doing until it's done.
Yeah.
I feel that.
And that's not all the time, but sometimes
Yeah.
that's the way it has to be. And with
Exactly.
one particular project, it's like, no one can know until it's done. And when it's finished, and I'm talking finished, like I'm
like about to show it
comics,
to everyone. Yeah.
then we can go, this happened.
Yeah.
And I think people's faces are going to melt off when this thing happens, because I can't believe it's happening. And it was a whole process to get it there.
We'll have to bring you on again to talk about it when you can then.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But it's there's so much to explore in the haunt world. It's another reason I'm glad you're doing this. And one of these days I'll play I should play you some of the stuff I recorded, because I got to talk to some crazy haunters, and I never released this, and it's driving me nuts. And I have like original theme music. It's all edited with all this stuff, and I'm just like, what do I do? How do I get it's a whole other like learning curve. Like I have to make a website, do a thing here, and get it there, and it's on Spotify. It's so stupid that I haven't put this out yet. And I know you'd love it too. It's like solely in our wheelhouse of fun.
Right.
But I just love that you guys. I love that Gigi was like, wait a minute, when Gigi was like your director, that's how this was. She was like directing the haunt that you were in.
Well, no. So she was one of the actors, and I was her supervisor to start, and then I ended up becoming her boss.
And then I was her supervisor as well.
And then they were both supervisors.
Yeah. And then
I was a boss, and there was another boss above us.
Yeah, and then on like the side as well, she was, when she started, because she was still in film school when we all met, and so when she started doing a lot of her school projects, she was bringing me on to like, she was just getting friends and stuff like that to help her. So I was in a few of her projects, and then she started doing more with Lucha Gore. So I was in a couple more of those, and then she brought Courtney on
as set decorator and art director. And we've done a lot of projects together because of the haunt,
and even just like side things that have nothing to do with haunting or like her. She did a commercial for her dad's real estate company.
I saw that.
I was
awesome.
The girl with the purple hair in it,
God.
and it was like I just was so upset and just like I didn't get my house, and it was just because she was like, "Hey guys, we're gonna have a barbecue, but we're also gonna shoot this commercial. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "I like food. Let's go. Let's do this." Yeah,
and we've done like viral shorts together. We did. I helped her with the
Easter
one. Easter Lucha Gore.
I saw that one.
I did the Christmas one.
I think I've seen almost all her things. I watched everything. Once I met her and saw one of her things, I was like, I must see everything.
Did you watch her Choose Your Victim?
Yes.
Hey, I was Nia Corpse. What's up?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And you know the egg that the Easter Bunny like poops out?
Yes.
Yeah, I handmade that.
Do you still have that somewhere?
No, actually, I think one of them ended up at Crypt TV.
Yeah.
And then the other ones I gave to Gigi. So they're somewhere in Gigi's house.
Because I remember, because we were living together when you made that, and I just remember seeing that egg. And then afterwards, when I saw like the full edit of the video, I was like, that was on our table for a long time.
And that whole like little portion was such a ghetto rig. It was a shitty rig. But it was fine. It was so good.
Like the fishing line and everything.
We had the fishing line, and then we had like a bucket of goo that we were like slowly pouring down at the same time as we're like shimmying this egg down.
And I'm pretty sure that Easter Bunny was it was a different Santa for the what was that viral video like challenge?
Luchagore Christmas.
The Luchagore Christmas where it was like
you guys did the mannequin challenge.
There we go, the mannequin challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a different Santa. Yeah.
Yeah.
She told me she like teaches film school, and I was like, "Oh, I want to audit one of your classes."
Yeah.
And she thought I was joking, and I'm like, "I am not joking.
Yeah.
I totally tell me how I can like
do this
like online. I want to check it out." And she's never let me do it, and it drives me nuts because I'm totally like I would be a good student. Like let me just go to school.
Yeah,
it would be fun. But she came out here and recently when she was working on the post for Bingo Hell, and when she was out here for that, I was having my like vegan birthday because during the pandemic I went vegan.
Wee,
nice.
Hell yeah!
So I have like did it July 5th of last year. So I was like, oh, so then this July will be my vegan birthday, my first birthday of being vegan. And so she was in town and I was like, you should come with me. So we went to the Gentle Barn and got to hug cows and hang out with pigs. And it was so much fun. It was like, I've never like hugged a cow or met a cow. I didn't know anything about cows.
Right.
And like the cows are like, they even told us like these cows you're going to meet like kind of an alpha cow who is in charge of the other cows. I was like, what do you even, I even know these are all cows that were like rescued from slaughterhouses.
Yeah.
And some of them even escaped their own slaughterhouse.
Wow.
Like there's like videos of some of them kicking it open and getting out. And then so they were the most adorable. And we're like all petting this one cow. And then the alpha cow comes in and moves that cow along, like move, and moo as she was along, and then brings this other cow that's blind. And they told us this cow's blind. Brought that other cow and had that cow go to the same spot, then looked at all of us and went, like pet this one. And then we all start petting that cow, and then the alpha cow walked away.
Incredible.
And a friend of mine brought her baby, and they even said, look, don't be afraid. These cows are not going to do anything. They just love babies.
Yeah.
You're going to see. And then she walked in with the baby. Every cow turned and looked at her, and every cow like went over and sniffed the baby, gave her a kiss. It was like this whole like every cow wants to say hello to your baby.
That's adorable.
Oh my! Then we went to the pig section, and they had a library of books. I'm like, "What's this for?" And they go, "Those are the books the pigs like to be read to."
Yeah.
I was like, what? And you take out a book and a bunch of pigs start showing up because like you take a book out, they're like, oh, it's story time.
Story time.
All right, everyone gather in a circle.
It was so much fun. I'm like hanging out, and Gigi, of course, was making like the greatest TikTok videos constantly.
Of course. Yeah.
Constantly.
She's like a TikTok auteur. I've never seen somebody go, okay, I have anywhere at any moment, at any time is going to be a viral video at any moment. She's so good at that.
Oh, I could give you so many behind the scenes. Like we went out for a girls' night,
last
week, and we decided we were going to go out to the strippers afterwards. And so it was a girls' night, and I don't know if I'm assuming you met Rainer once or twice, or you've heard of Rainer Shima from Luchagore Productions, her partner in crime, one of them.
I've heard of, haven't met.
So super funny is it's always a thing where we have a girls' night, and it's all girls dressed to the nines, and then at the very end after dinner or after drinks we call Rainer and he just like comes out from like nowhere. He could be an hour and a half away and he'd be like, yeah, I'll be there in 10 minutes, whatever. And you're just like, okay. So of course Gigi set this whole thing up. It was wonderful. She was like, hey Rainer, just get a photo of the girls, like of you and the girls. And he was like, yeah, sure. So we're all like, there's probably 7 of us lined up next to Rainer getting a photo. And she comes around and she has it set up and she's like, Rainer, what are you doing? Oh, a photo with all the girls I see. And it's already up on Instagram and TikTok. It's just like within seconds she can see a situation and turn it into something hilarious or just something that everyone wants to watch.
I'm pretty sure she just walks through this world and sees everything as like a scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has to, yeah.
She's a constant director and performer. Like
yes.
And Morbido, and she was wearing that to the premiere of her movie. She was wearing that really cute Mars Attacks dress that she has.
Yeah.
And she was wearing it again. I saw for the Fantastic
like for her press.
Fest.
Yeah. Down in Texas.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that she has like her premiere dress is the Mars Attack dress with the aliens on it.
Yeah.
I love her. When she showed Culture Shock at Beyond Fest, her whole family was there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she got
So
everybody
supportive.
at this one bar next door, everyone there to form a conga line.
Yeah.
Everyone was doing a conga line. And I was like, oh my God, she is just, just an incredible entertainer. I love her.
For my birthday last year, we had it was in the park where people could stay spaced out and come and go as they please. And her family, of course, showed up, and like mom, dad, sister, they were all there. And my parents happened to be visiting. And I found out when my parents from like last week, apparently her dad and my dad text each other still.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, so next time we come to town, we're gonna go over there, we're gonna have a barbecue, drink some good tequila. And I was like,
I love them.
Okay, yeah, sure, you can plan that. I'll just show up. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So great.
They're just a magical family.
They are.
Her sister that sings opera.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just love them.
mom
They're
is like
incredible.
okay. Fun fact about when we used to do the like choose your victim and like film crew days of Luchagor. Her mom was the caterer.
Yeah, it was crafty.
Was craft.
believe it.
She would be like, "I'm not making any food. I'm not doing it. I will bring some. I'll bring like vegetables. You guys can have vegetables." And Gigi be like, "That's fine. That's cool. You don't even
it's
have
okay,
to."
Mom.
She would show up with like tacos and burritos and like homemade Mexican style food, and not just one. It's like you had options. And she was like, "Oh, you're a vegetarian? You're over here. You want some chicken? Come over here."
Yeah.
And I was like, this is better than half the shit you get on real sets. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah. Incredible.
Oh, it looked amazing.
Super supportive.
I every time they post that kind of stuff too, when they do their family get-togethers, I'm always like, I can't believe how all out they go. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
She's her whole family, just everyone's an entertainer in her family.
Yeah.
There's just
And
so much fun.
It's not even for anything specific. That's just who they are.
Yes.
And it's so lovely because they're not scared to like be who they are in front of everyone, show it off. And it's so beautiful too, because they're all super supportive of each other.
Yeah,
I could go on
really,
like a crazy fangirl thing for Gigi.
I just love it. I mean, my friend Melanie Light went to the haunt that you guys worked at before, and with Gigi, like it was like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And they were posting pictures, and I was like, oh, look at this. This is so cool. It's everything I love, just really fun people doing creative stuff and in doing it with a crazy, fun, scary experience. I mean, that really is a really fun looking at haunt too. Just so massive. I love it.
Yeah, it was big. And I do miss it.
I do. I
do miss it.
I miss our family.
Yeah.
It's so tricky. It's like you're trying to solve a Rubik's Cube on the Titanic. You're like, how do I make this work? And, some people have come up with some creative solutions, and sometimes people haven't, had to take time off and just take a year off. And I feel for everybody because I had a thing planned before the pandemic and could not accomplish it during the pandemic. It was really painful because it was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
it would have been amazing.
Painful is a really good way to like describe it.
Yeah. Well, no one teaches you how to grieve a project that you had like really close to your heart, And so when you have to let go of that project, you're like, ouch, this hurts.
Yeah.
But then like you understand the reasons why, but then you're still like, this still sucks.
It's like separating from like a breakup. It's like a breakup that was mutual because it's beneficial for you both on the other end, but like you still have to go through that process.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, it's like that's why it's just fun to find people like you, because then we could talk about all the fun stuff.
The minutia of it all.
Yes. The meandering.
The meandering minutia.
I love it.
I love some alliteration.
I love it. You have haunt shirts on. It's so cute.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you could actually see us or not. I was like,
I can see you. I just don't have my camera on.
That's fair.
Not in camera mood. I'm just like,
that's fair. That's valid.
We were hanging up spider web all morning, like got my coffee, putting up giant webs and giant spiders on my place, and
As
classic.
It's awesome. I've been having a good time. It's like this is the time where we're just constantly finding new awesome inflatables to get to the roof, and so the whole place will be covered in like lit up pumpkins and pirate stuff, and we get all pirated out, and even my dog gets a pirate costume. And
I need to get my so you got your cat an avocado costume.
He's an avocado for this year.
My cat is a black cat who I'm just like, okay, well, you're Salem every year essentially because you don't give a shit. But my dog, I want to find her a really good outfit.
Well, we have the one where it's Momo's got the pirate costume that you see on all those videos where it's like the pirate with the hook. And
and it's like when he walks around.
It's just as cute. It's so incredible. I mean, my dog is the cutest dog in the world. His full name is Guillermo del Toro Peaches More Schnitzer, Momo for short.
Awesome.
He is like part Bichon, part Havanese. He's a Bichonese.
Oh my God.
Is painfully adorable. He looks like a chibi, like a living, breathing chibi. And in the pirate costume, it's like this. I buy it. You're a pirate dog from some other dimension. I love it. And I have some really funny pictures from last year where he's all dressed up. We're all dressed up in pirate costumes. My wife made me the pirate costume that I have like so many years ago. And it's been made into a million. First it was a devil costume. Then it was a Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band thing. Then it was a pirate thing. It just kept going on and just keep reusing the thing and change it a little bit every year.
Yeah.
And it was really fun. We had like for Halloween last year, made candy shoots so we could drop candy to trick-or-treaters.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great idea.
Yes.
That was really fun. The kids had fun with that. Now we're getting projectors. So we can have and we're finding like the cheesiest, best, worst Halloween stuff to project all over the place, like skeletons that are like okay, pumpkins are like not that like okay, like I'm not looking for, like it's not that great, it's like hilarious, it's like the kind of like I don't know, the kind of
you want someone to walk by and just be like
program.
Yeah.
It's but I also have like this fun stuff from like a handful of years ago where it looks like old Halloween decorations, but they're of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre characters and of They Live, and it's from Trick or Treat Studios.
Okay.
Totally adorable, awesome Leatherface and stuff, Roddy Piper and all the. I'm putting those up all over the place. I know it's awesome. And Donald is totally not allowed to hunt anymore because he had a kid. Just like his wife said.
Okay. Oh,
so,
I bet that's hard.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Poor Donald.
When she was pregnant, I got hooked him up to all these different gigs, so he could go have a moment of going pro and do some crazy stuff. He did some amazing stuff. Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So good. And so now, and his kid is adorable, Jack, and not named after Jack-o'-lantern.
Damn it! You saw my face.
Or Jack Skellington.
I totally to me it is.
I was like, that's perfect. That's a subtle way to get a little bit of Halloween in forever.
Boom! I'm calling him Jack. Well, it's so funny because whenever Donald's on the phone with me, Jack goes, Halloween! And it's me, which I really love. Any kid associating me with Halloween makes me very happy. I'm thrilled. But I get all my Halloween stuff out. Like I have a book called Haunted Air. Have you ever seen this book?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I love that book so much. Just photographs of just families that did their own costumes for decades, and you're just looking at pictures of that. And I don't know, I have a lot of the stuff anyway, but then once we get closer to September, then I start taking one thing out, two things out, three things out.
I know, I gotta bring
Donald, instead of doing the haunt, he's allowed to decorate.
Okay.
So we got one of those 12-foot tall, 14-foot tall skeletons.
Yeah, the Skelly Boys.
So now he got a second one of those, and he got a giant spider, and he's so he keeps adding to it and adding to it. So which is great. He's one of those houses that just is going to over decorate.
Can't say anything, honey. It's not a haunted house. It's just decorations.
Boom. Loophole found. Got it.
I was going to say, I want to, for Lilu, I was thinking about getting her. Well, my dog's name is Lilu. Her full name is Lilu Dallas Multipass.
Multipass. Oh, there we go.
Multipass.
Yeah.
Multipass.
Supreme
being.
Very supreme being. Bada boom. I'm obsessed with that movie One, but also biggest like Bruce Willis fangirl.
Yes.
Right here.
Oh, come on.
Oh, there's no shame in my Bruce Willis game.
You have to Bruce Willis explain me. I'm a huge fan.
Oh, I got a cardboard cutout.
He made the best Christmas movie of all time.
He did.
Absolutely.
Twice, technically. Twice.
Yeah.
The second one is also a Christmas movie and no one wants to talk about it. Anyways.
no one wants to talk about Die Hard Part 2. No. Nobody. I like the icicle part.
It's so good. Okay.
The icicle in the eye part was great.
It's like genius. And I'm sorry, but like the whole plane and the cemetery with the church and the snow, it's smart. I knew right away when I was younger that the different color on the guns meant one of them was clearly not actual bullets. Just saying. As a child, I figured that out. Anyways, I want to dress Lilu up because she's got a great snaggletooth. My dog, she's a mutt. So she's like a cross. Everyone thinks she's like a Boston Terrier, but she's a cross between like a Beagle, Red Heeler, Pug, and Jack Russell. So she's tiny. And I want to get her like a sloth costume from the Goonies.
Oh.
Because just that tooth sticks out and she would just be so cute walking around with like little suspenders and a Superman shirt on.
Hey, you guys.
Exactly.
Hey,
yes.
you guys. Oops.
That's one of the greatest. Oh, I love that stuff. That's awesome. Yeah, Momo. It's named after Guillermo del Toro because of our obsession with Blade 2.
Yes.
And I've met Guillermo del Toro, and I only brought up Blade 2. Because I'll tell you, his movies are great. Love his movies. I love Blade 2 so much. It's crazy. And it's beyond a point. Like, I don't know how many hundreds of times I've seen that movie. It used to be a thing where every night Blade 2 was on.
Yeah,
right.
And there's even a painting of us killing the Reapers from Blade 2 because every time this one guy would come over, it was on every time for almost, I don't know how, like a year or so. And then he was like, I made you a painting. And it's a painting of us killing the Reapers. And it's like, it's great because it's such a shitty painting.
Yeah.
And we love it so much.
So it makes
we know
it
what it
so
means.
much better.
Yeah. It's like the Charlie Brown Peanuts characters killing Charlie Brown Peanuts versions of the Reapers. It's like, we have it over our trash in the kitchen. So we have, every time we have to throw something out, we get to look at ourselves killing the Reapers from Blade 2. It's like the greatest thing ever. I love it.
That's
it's
awesome.
my favorite movies.
Yeah.
But I met Guillermo at plane.
Oh,
goes by. So I was at the Igor Awards at Halloween Horror Nights where they honor some horror person and honor them, and then you get to go through their maze and stuff. So Guillermo del Toro was there, and they go, "Okay, no questions." And I just went, "Blade 2 rules." He went, "I like it," and he walked right over to me, and I did like a whole interview with him, only about Blade 2.
Yeah,
and it's so ridiculous. It's all filmed in 3D. I did it. I did Halloween Horror Nights in 3D one year. Filmed it in 3D.
Oh my
and
god!
You had to put on glasses, and you get to go through all the different stuff in 3D.
Hell,
that's
got like the guys who did the 3D from all these different Sony movies, like unbelievable. I had way too much. Like I basically called in favors and got a guy to lend me an $80,000 rig. It's like, I'm like, what do you want to do with it? I want to film some haunted houses. And
okay, you're like,
that's what we're doing. Like Guillermo was just like,
awesome.
we were just talking Blade 2. It was so rad. Have you heard the commentary track to Blade 2?
No.
Guillermo,
snippets of it, but yeah.
Guillermo is so awesome in that commentary track. He's
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. I did a Blade trilogy watch through like a month ago. So
you don't have to do the trilogy.
I know, but like I really like Ryan Reynolds abs.
I'll have to watch that third one.
No, well, we don't count it. Like, but I have this. I'm the worst when it comes to movies because I love all the good ones and all of the really, really shitty ones.
She's not lying.
I'm not like she is. We lived together for like 7 years, and she would walk out and be like, I'm not watching this. And I'm like, that's okay. I got my popcorn. I'm good. But I have this issue that even if I don't like a movie, I have to finish it to torture myself. I'm a bit of a masochist.
Yes.
But so I if I'm going to do like one movie, I'm going to do them all. So if I'm going to do one Bruce Willis movie, I'm going to do all the Bruce Willis movies.
Striking Distance.
The Jackal is fucking phenomenal, P.S.
The Jackal. Yeah, I saw The Jackal in the theater.
It's so good. So good.
Yeah, no, I saw that. So, yeah.
The Fifth Element was my our family's first DVD. When we got a DVD player, the first one we bought was The Fifth Element. I watched that movie so many times, and I'm not kidding, because we lived together when this happened. I watched it so many times that the sound on the disc stopped working.
It got worn
and
out.
I had to change it out, and I was like, I'm going to try a different, maybe it's just my player, and it wasn't. It was the fact that I fucked up that DVD, and then my parents were like, here's another copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did that. That's hard to do with a DVD, but like it was easy to do with VHS. And VHS,
yes.
I played those things out. But like, yeah, Luke Perry at the opening of Fifth Element, because I'm a huge 90210 fan.
Yeah.
And Donna Martin graduates, you know.
I'm so proud. Yeah.
Big deal. Glad they bent the rules for her.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
She was already handed everything else in life, except Ray Pruitt.
Like even the role, whatever.
I'm not getting into Ray Pruitt on your podcast. But Luke Perry, it's so funny that he's in Fifth Element and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like he's not in a lot of movies.
Yeah, no.
He's also, you know, hit some other movies too. But like those two are like, wow. Those his small parts in two movies that are just going to live on forever.
Forever.
And Fifth Element, what an amazing. I love anytime someone does costumes from that, because it's like it takes so much work to dress up as any character from that movie.
Any character.
Even those McDonald's, the people who worked at McDonald's in that movie.
So cool. Like even the
costume
cops.
design.
Yeah. I love the scene when two of the aliens were going to try and get onto the ship to go to Fhloston Paradise. Yes. And it was, they could tell that they were the aliens going through, and so you had like all the garbage in the background, and as they're like trying to go through, the costume of like she had this skirt on and it was like neon green, but it was see-through, and she had like the fuzzy jacket on, and I used to be like, I want that outfit.
I need it. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Everything in that movie, it's so much fun.
So iconic.
I mean, it's incredible. What are you gonna do? Like, I don't know. These cosplayers too blow my mind every time when they do things. You're just like, you're taking on stuff that like Academy Award winners had a tricky time doing, and you're doing it by yourself. It's kind of incredible.
Yeah.
No, it's really, I don't know. I love it. I just love too what people come up with their Halloween costumes anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, one year I was the Squatty Potty Unicorn, and it was hilarious. Mostly because I was just really happy with the product.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give it as many shout outs as possible. And like I put it on, I tagged them online when I was the Squatty Potty Unicorn, and they were like, how do you like it? Like, I
clearly love it.
Love it so much. I want to dress up for it as Halloween and answer everyone's questions too.
I am a unicorn.
Yeah. Big into it. But yeah, no, I love it. It's so much fun to see everyone just go all out. And in LA, it's so much fun to see people change their entire homes.
Yes.
Like Dick Van Dyke goes all out for Halloween.
Yeah, I saw that.
His house is, he like has a deal with K&B Effects Company, or K&B, who do all the special effects to like everything from all the Tarantino movies, but Scream to everything. So, which is funny because if you watch like one of the movies they do, sometimes you'll see something from like one of the decapitated heads from Kill Bill will end up in something else, or from so
Wes Craven's
all
so
those
great
heads
at that,
and parts,
though.
like Drew Barrymore's head and all that stuff.
So good.
All of that is at Dick Van Dyke's house, and like it's like this massive thing of just all the craziest stuff ever, and king size candy bars, and like it's like he makes it into like this any Halloween thing that's going on.
Yeah,
I would see Dick Van Dyke at all the time.
Oh god, that'd be so awesome.
Just the coolest. Wants to talk Halloween stuff all the time.
How do we get him on the show?
Yeah, how do we get Dick Van Dyke?
Probably not that tricky. I mean, he wants to talk this
Halloween. Yeah.
He wants to talk about this more than Mary Poppins. He's talked enough about Mary Poppins.
Oh dear God, yeah.
Probably talk.
I'd ask him about Night at the Museum, though.
What's that?
I'd ask him about Night at the Museum.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah. No, he's fun. He loves all things Halloween and all things 3D. So I got to like meet him a few times because he does stuff like if someone's a 3D enthusiast and they're doing a short film, he'll totally act in it.
That's awesome.
Because it's like,
so
3D,
cool.
I'll do it. I'll be there.
I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
God.
it's really cool. But it's look, we're in a challenging time, so it's really cool to see any ingenuity, any creative response that's been going on, and the amount of horror that we're allowed to stream right now that keeps getting released. And that Gigi is going to have Bingo Hell out this October. I'm so excited.
Literally next week.
Is it next week is hers? Or
yeah, on October 1st is it? Yeah. That's the one.
Wow, it's already October 1st next week.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Well, I'm excited. And, we're still not where I want it to be. I want to be like just every haunt all the time. Like the amount of haunts I normally go to is completely insane. But we'll figure it all out soon, hopefully.
We'll get back to normal eventually.
Or some version. But I definitely want to haunt it up.
The new normal. Yeah,
so
I
much
just want to go out. It's like I just want to go and do those experiences, and it's amazing that Delusion has found a way to do that. Yeah. So
because they always had such small groups anyway.
Yeah.
And they also have a free roaming ARG to open it with that you spend like a couple hours wandering around now, which I'm just like, I don't get it. I'm excited to find out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really excited about that show.
When are you going?
I'm going October 30th.
Okay.
Oh, like, perfect.
Okay, perfect.
I have like a whole Halloween weekend planned for myself. Where I'm like, okay.
Oh, that sounds romantic. I love that.
I'm gonna have a real Halloween weekend.
Heck,
and then I'll, on the way to it, a bunch of other Halloween little things, but not as. Look, talking to someone who used to do the amount of haunts I did before.
Yeah,
it's insane. I think about it now too.
Does your wife consider herself a haunt widower?
Yeah,
I love that term, by the way.
Dude. Okay, real thing.
Like, want to be represented.
Needs to be. It has to be because it's like haunt widows is like it's an important thing.
It's true. No, my partner, he's the same way.
Yeah, he
met me, and I told him we met in like January.
Yeah,
became a thing a couple months later, but then September would roll around, and I'd be like, I need you to know you're not going to see me for about a month and a half. And he'd be like, what? Be like, well, I work a full-time job, and then I work essentially a second full-time job at night.
Yeah.
So, and he was like, well, can't we hang out on weekends? I was like, oh, honey, no. No.
It's so cute. You think that we're going to see me again.
Adorable. Yeah. So what he did one night was he, for a quote-unquote date night, is he brought his friend to the haunt.
Yeah.
Went on the roller coaster, got a photo of him on the roller coaster, and then gave it to me, and then he left. And I was like, oh, that's great. Thank you. Funny. I love this. Yeah. I still have that photo.
Yeah. And I would just lose partners.
That's factual.
Because from mid-August till like mid-November, I was completely unavailable.
Yeah.
Because I was just making shit happen.
It's not easy.
No.
If you're passionate about something,
that's you got to support the person you love with their passions, and you got to ride. It's not always going to be easy. You're right. No. You got to ride it through.
Yeah.
Well, it's tough. Look, any kind of relationship is already tricky.
Yes.
When you throw into it, and I'm going to devote a lot of time, a lot of energy, and everything I've got into these next months of my life.
My first love. Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little tricky, but I'm really like Haunters really did do a lot. And it also got, my wife got so into Shar as a person that she actually made her website for her.
Oh,
she was like, you need your own website. And Shar was like, I'm trying to put one together. She's like, come to the house. And she built a website for Shar. And it is an awesome website.
I bet.
It is so badass. And she made it. And she she's got a lot of really impressive technical skills and very creative. And she does not like do that for people. She was like, she just loves Char so much, and she wanted her to have something really special to to honor the artist that she is.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, which is really awesome. I mean, that's the cool thing about it is a lot of people have been able reached out to me that has been like, look, I've shown this to my partner who never got what I'm into, and now not only gets it, developed a very strong opinion about what they like and what they don't like.
Right.
And now they even go to haunts. Like Char's husband, Jerry, who really did not go to haunts.
Yeah.
After Haunters, and he started to really, he's still not like on the haunt wagon, but he goes to them more now.
Oh, yeah. Good.
And he goes with us, and he understands the world a bit more now. It's really cool. And Char's daughter is an amazing haunter.
I bet.
She was just out of town a lot when I was filming, and then she finally came back around towards the end, and I got to see her in action. I hired her for one haunt, and she was unbelievable. So talented. Rosie Mayer. She's always posting online because she's at every haunt, still at every haunt, and it finds new ways of scaring people. I was blown away watching her scare people. I was totally impressed. I even told her, I'm like, you're really like taking what your mother does to another level. And I told it to Char, and Char was like, yeah, no, she's like really taking it to another place. It's really so special. I don't know. I get just blown away and inspired because like, I love it. I love creating the experiences. I like scaring people. I don't have the skills that the best scare actors have. I love watching them do it though. And I love coming up with the pieces, coming up with the maze, coming up with how it's going to play out, and putting people where they're going to do their best. It's directing, you know?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
But I love that part of it. It's really so much fun. And when you get to see them all do it, it's great. And it's the fun about watching Donald build his thing too. You're just like, I still can't believe that was in his, that maze at the very end went through the driveway, the front driveway, backyard, into the house, out the front door.
Oh shit, it went in the house.
And then it had another part to it. There was a part where I actually walked through the entire thing and showed the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it was like this, it's like a whole nother thing to show the whole thing. But it was really cool. I loved it.
That's incredible.
That's amazing.
Well,
I should just release the tour one day.
You should.
You should.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
I have like the tour of him giving that tour. I have the tour of Jacob giving the tour of Sherwood Scare. I have like, there's so many of these things.
Oh man.
It's crazy. I was just going through it recently.
It would be incredible to see your footage library.
Oh my God.
But that's like a whole nother thing.
I'm just imagining you surrounded by, like you said earlier, just like hard drives.
Just
like
200 hours.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
Time well spent.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
time well spent.
Yeah, and that's not even, you know, I didn't film any of the therapy I went through afterwards either. No, that's
neither does McCamey Manor, so
I have to talk it out. It was a trip. It was a trip. It really is a trip. You know, you start out with something and you go down it, and then you realize you've been through an entire adventure and
wasn't what you were expecting, but it was better than you thought.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's totally it's a trip. I mean, to write something and make something you write is really a whole thing, and that's an amazing thing to do. But when you have an idea of where something's going to go, and then you start it, and then you end up on another planet, and you're just like,
how did I get here?
Find yourself in a situation where you're like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? What am I doing? I would like, oh my God. Like my neighbors would just see me come back and be like, I'd be covered in God knows what. And my neighbors are just like, are you okay? I'm just like, yeah, my wife is like hosing me off.
It's like
I can't believe any
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, like Hunter S. Thompson. You don't know what's going to happen. You're kind of just there for the ride, and it's like
pretty much
time.
And you make sure this is all in focus. Okay, is the sound working? All right,
God, I hope so.
then we're
Let's
good.
get this. Yeah. No, it's a whole thing, man. But yeah. It was great talking with you.
Yeah.
You as well.
This went way longer than I anticipated.
Fucking
It went
3
way
hours.
shorter than I thought it was going to go.
Oh, really?
Really?
I was like, wow, we'll probably talk for 2 days.
I mean, we could keep going, but
I don't got to work till Tuesday, so I'm good.
No, we'll have to have you on another time.
Yeah.
Maybe when that other project that you can't currently talk about drops.
Totally. Or I can,
We'll just
after I
meander.
do a haunt, I can tell you all about it.
Yeah, like
Hell
maybe
yeah.
after the after the
Discussions.
Halloween season, be
Yeah.
like what our
Do a
takeaways from all
catch-up.
the new restrictions and everything like that was, and if that changes how people are experiencing haunts or whatnot.
Yeah.
Totally. We can talk about whatever, man. I'm always
We
a
could
down
just
to talk
chat.
haunts.
Hell yeah.
We could talk about
Love it.
Gigi. We'll bring Gigi on too. We'll all just have
We'll
we'll like nothing will be a cohesive.
Yeah, we'll just
Like
sit in a room and talk for hours.
Yeah.
So
Have
John,
you had her on yet?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we have,
So that's
yeah.
one of the ones you're missing.
Oh
Yeah.
God, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it. That's gonna be a good one. She's
You
so
really are.
entertaining.
Yeah,
really
it
are.
was a good episode. It was good. Not
That's
to toot
awesome.
our own horn, but it was good.
Toot toot.
Well, thanks
Awesome.
again, John. This has been awesome.
Thank you.
Like we said, we'll have
Oh.
you on again anytime.
Oh, hell yeah.
anytime.
Hell yeah.
Love it. I'd love it. There's a million things we could talk about.
Yeah,
haunt-wise,
million.
and
Like
If there's
we could go.
we could just go down one particular haunt rabbit hole or anything. I'm totally down.
Awesome.
Can't wait.
Awesome. Great to actually have a conversation with you. And
Yes.
congratulations on your wonderful podcast. I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We hope you have a great day, John.
Thank you. You too.
We'll see you later.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
That was perfect.
Well, I feel like I learned a lot today.
So did I.
That's a lot to digest.
Yeah.
Everything that we talked about.
Yeah.
But it was super fun. It was really fun having John on and like kind of getting to hear his take on like haunting and the way he just like he can just talk about stories and it flows from one to the next was just phenomenal. It was like I didn't really need to ask too many questions because any question I wanted to ask
He just answered.
exactly.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah, John, thank you again so much for taking the time to come on our podcast.
Yeah. It was super wonderful talking with you, and we hope to have you on ASAP.
Yeah.
And if you want to get a hold of us,
We are on Instagram and on Facebook at Just Haunted House Things. And yeah, listen to our podcast. We send them out every 2 weeks. Yeah, I think that's it for today, guys.
thanks so much.
Talk to you later. And this has been
Just Haunted House Things.